Dubai Mall, by the way, the largest mall in the world, it is packed 24/7. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and you think it's Christmas Eve or some holiday where everyone's got to go shopping for gifts.
You can shop till you drop until midnight.
Dubai is so ahead of us in the US. Wow.
I agree. This is a place where more is not the word, it's unlimited. All the tallest buildings in South Florida, but they're probably the smallest buildings in our downtown Dubai.
True.
Right?
We actually, true. Our room faces the Burj Khalifa. And first of all, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It is a blessing. It is a dream come true to actually have the opportunity to visit Dubai, to have that view every night.
Yeah.
We sit out on the balcony and just look up at it and go like, they really built something this tall.
Yeah.
Amazing. There's no comparison when you compare the two.
If you were able to buy New York back in the 50s, that's where Dubai is today.
Right. You're going to look back in 10 years, 15 years, and wish that you had picked up a unit. I see that. I mean, it's obvious. And one of my concerns was, wow, there's just so much being built. There are cranes everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're telling me, and what I've learned from this last week that we've spent here, is that a lot of them sell out before
Launch.
That's crazy.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the next episode of Main Mic. With us today, we have the pleasure of hosting Connie Cabrell, real estate expert from the South Florida real estate market, a personal friend of mine, and a guest that, honestly, I'm so glad to have. Thank you, Connie, for coming. Finally, you made it.
I did. It's it's been a long time.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for a long, long time. But in life, it's all about timing. I always, I'm a firm believer of that, right?
True.
Even when calling someone, I tell my office, my staff all the time, don't call them on a Monday morning. Don't call, I'm strategic about everything.
Yeah.
And, people are busy. They're not going to be open-minded on a Monday morning or so on. So yeah, it's about timing. Finally made it. About 3 years I've been talking about this.
We've been talking about it for a while now.
So,
but I'm glad every year, though, I think that has passed has allowed Dubai to further enhance itself and become closer to the vision that the ruler has for the country. And I'm glad that you made it to Dubai in 2025 is because you get to see the after effects of COVID, and even our last year we had this phenomenon. There was like a flood, and we recovered from that within days, and how resilient the market and Dubai as a city is with its leadership and its developments. But from a real estate standpoint, what I'm most passionate about and what I love about Dubai is how quick it moves. As you know, like in South Florida, like there's markets and then there's sub-markets. There's some markets that are just going to stay the same no matter when you buy or when you sell. It's always the right time, or it's never going to change. But then you have other markets that if you don't buy at the right time, the prices can completely probably become unaffordable if you wait too long. That's how Dubai is. Dubai is like that crazy and that fast of a market that it just continues to reinvent itself and beat its own records.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
It really does. On how, first of all, yes, when you're going into these, like we went to Dubai Islands, and it has been just such a powerful learning experience. And yes, Dubai is everything I dreamt of and then some.
Oh, wow.
I truly, and I tell my husband this, I truly can see myself living here. Again, things don't happen like that. There's other logistics involved, but it is a place that I could call home. And yes,
yeah.
I thought I would never say that because I love Miami. Everyone knows Miami is where my heart is. However, I have found something better than Miami. Yes, I know.
No.
Those haters don't hate. Better than Miami, and for many reasons that I wasn't even aware of.
I agree with you, is because I lived in Miami all my life before I moved. And when I first came here, I just wanted to make it happen. I just wanted to make Dubai home. And for me, it was a love affair that started back in 2016. Sorry, 2000. When I first came here, it was 2009. But when I first moved here, it was 2016. So it took me a good, 7 years before it became reality. But it was like every time I went back to Miami from my trip to Dubai before I moved here, it was like, oh, I need to go back. And I was like in that comparison mode.
I see that. I see that happen. I feel it. I see it. I'm sad to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there's a lot that people don't know, right?
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to look at the real estate in Florida and how it compares to the real estate here in Dubai. And yes, things go up quickly. I love that. The fact that if they put their mind to something and they're going to launch an area, they're going to launch it all at once.
Correct.
That is great.
Correct. I mean, they're launching cities at a time, right? Like we're
That's
right there over there
crazy.
launching probably one project at a time. And here we have launching streets and cities at a time. And people line up to buy it. That's the good part as real estate professionals. Tell me, so how is, I mean, I just recently went, as you know, we both like arrived back to Dubai at the same time. But tell me, how is the South Florida real estate market right now?
It is, I like to refer to Florida as the American Riviera to the rest of the world. Really, it is. We're, a wealthy playground. That's where you go to play, be naughty, not get in trouble.
Yeah.
So there's the part about Miami. It is very diverse, sort of like here in Dubai. Miami and Dubai are have very strong similarities. And the person that is going to be attracted to Miami will definitely be attracted to Dubai. Just depends on, what you want to do in your lifestyle a little bit, but certainly offers, as far as weather. But Dubai is on a whole other level of luxury, like just a bigger spectrum. There's so much more wealth. And if luxury is what you enjoy, yes.
You'll get a lot of that here.
My husband has a new saying, go big or go home. That's that should be Dubai's slogan.
Yes.
Kind of like that Prada necklace that I'm still dreaming about. So for sure, the Florida market right now is, look, overall the country is uneasy, right? There's a little bit of unsureness, a little bit of insecurity. But we all know deep down that, look, in life there are waves, right, that you must ride. So this is just a little, I would say it's a little bit stagnant at the moment. We have a little bit more inventory.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, sellers were in control.
Correct.
When it came to the South Florida market.
Yeah.
I am a strong listing agent as well.
Correct.
So we could dominate any number.
Yeah.
You've seen it firsthand.
Yes.
We could ask for anything. Buyers were prisoners.
Yes.
They really could not, there was no negotiation.
True.
You didn't get to pick your contingencies. Inspection, no. No. So it is, and I always thought it was a little bit unfair, but now it's more of an even playing field, but continue to lead towards the buyer side, right? Buyers are holding out. So about a year and a half ago, buyers just literally went from hot, crazy market to like buyers put the brakes on. And that's what shifted, is that now that demand was not there, they're entering the market again. The shocker was the interest rates initially. But you and I have talked about this, that historically interest rates were 7%. So it took a bit psychologically to get the consumer to
buy into that, to make that the norm.
To make that the norm.
Yeah.
But we're there. So now they've started to come out. They've started to purchase again. Also, obviously, elections are over. Whether you agree or want, it's who you voted for. It's irrelevant. It's the unknown that scares people. Now we know what we have to deal with.
Correct.
So, the market is a great time to buy. Buyers, I cannot tell you, enjoy the moment, this window that you have for negotiations.
Agreed.
And to this is the time to negotiate a little bit of a better price.
Yeah.
And not to pay those really, really high sticker
Wealth
prices.
is made in times like this.
Correct.
Right? And
Correct.
the money is made in the buying, not in the selling, I think. This is my philosophy. As a property owner, investor in South Florida, I could tell you that the money I made was not in the sales, it was in the buys. And if it's a buyer's market that you're telling me, then this is the time to go shopping.
Yeah. I always say you make money when you buy, not
Correct.
when you sell. I can't stress that enough. So
Yeah.
this is the time. So no, the market is, it's a buyer's market in Miami, South Florida in general. And
And I'll tell you that, like, in reflection and in contrast to what's going on in Dubai, here people still line up. It's still a seller's market here. I mean, here, this side of the world, anytime that there's any type of chaos, Dubai thrives. Dubai picks up a new segment of market share, and people want to come here for certainty. Just like you said, people don't want uncertain times. People come here for certainty. They know that the economy is stable. They know that the leadership is stable and everything else. I mean, if we can just ignore the 40 Celsius summers, everything else is stable. But aside from that, I think that is the beauty of Dubai and why it thrives in real estate, is because everyone wants to be here. And this just at the same time, like while we're seeing it be a buyer's market in South Florida, it's a seller's market still in Dubai. And so like I get to see both sides in the same time that we live in. And one thing I'll also definitely give you credit for is that no matter what the market does, whether the market is a buyer's market or a seller's market, market makers will thrive. They will continue to be able to put in the effort and build the team and expertise to be able to serve their client base. And that right there is not what every real estate professional sometimes has in their back pocket or arsenal to be able to serve their clients accordingly. So that's one thing also, that like sometimes real estate professionals think that it should be a seller's market and that buyers should be calling them every time they put on a listing in the market. But you have to be a true expert
there's an opportunity
love
in every
to serve.
market. There is an opportunity in every market. You just have to. What happens is they don't look ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in life in general, right? You just whatever you get thrown at you, you have to find a way out, right?
Agreed.
So yeah, I think some of us thrive regardless.
Yeah.
You just have to
And Connie,
adjust your strategy.
Yeah, and Connie, one thing that I was really yesterday when we were having lunch, I got to learn more about your background, that where you're from, and how you got to where you are. Tell me a little bit more about, so that the audience can learn a little bit more about the Connie that they see, but where Connie came from.
Yeah, I think maybe a book someday. I don't know. It's actually, thank you for asking. I've never publicly spoken or really have shared with many. I don't think very few people know that, unless you're like a very, very personal close friend. But even some friends don't know that. Oh. But yes, so I grew up on a small, very, very small island off the coast of Portugal, the Azores. There are 9 islands. They're still there. So yes, it was very, very small. And I was there until I was about 11, 12. Oh. So Portuguese is my primary language. But what's interesting is that, yes, we know that I like the finer things in life. However, I was raised with the extreme opposite. We didn't have shopping malls. We did not have... No, I mean, your mother basically made your dress out of a tablecloth or leftover fabric from drapes. We didn't have supermarkets, but even better than that, we didn't have electricity or plumbing. So it's people. Yeah, I don't think people believe it when I share that with them.
No, the adversity creates opportunity, and sometimes it just takes that level of hunger to be able to make it to where you are today, through being able to seeing those difficult times and basically not wanting to have that happen again, that where you continuously chase your goals and dreams to be able to become
I don't like
who
camping.
you are today.
I don't like camping. Everyone says, let's go camping. Why would I want to go camping? I've already like washed. I remember because in other countries and cultures, and this is going back, but you grow up, you're married very young, like really old school mentality. So yes, she had me like we'd wash clothes on the river. On a little rock. True
Yeah?
story. I mean, she's still here. She can share that. My mother's,
Wow.
thank goodness, still with us, and
bless her.
she will be happy to. Yes,
Yeah.
she had. I could do. By
You
the
had
time
the
I was 10
true-
years old, I could truly run a household. People say today, you don't have kids. No, my passion and dream was to adopt. Is to adopt. I was raised to like be a grown woman at a very early age. So I bring on any housewife from today, they will not. Let's go. So yeah, but you would think I'd settle for a little bit less, but no, I always
No,
want more. And I definitely never want to say no, because you're right. I never want to go back to that place,
Yeah.
No,
No, and like one thing I can agree on, same with my background, is that like, I started with the not so much privileges that as we have today, and of course we're blessed to be able to own and enjoy the experiences that we have today in life. But you can only appreciate it, I think, when you come from a place of not having it. Because if you've always had it, then it's really, you take it entitled. But when you've come from a place of never having it, and now you've been blessed with it, then you appreciate it more, and then also you desire it more. So I think that that's been the recipe of my life as well. That I've been able to just continuously chase my dreams is because it came from a place of pain, that where I was trying to make sure that I don't see myself ever again in. But overall, in real estate, in life, I think goals and hunger are very important, whether you build it from a place of
100%.
not having it or having it.
Yeah.
I think hunger and goals are something very important, which I know you're very goal-oriented and hungry
You're
to chase.
absolutely right. You have to have both. I look at people that are way smarter than I am. I mean, I am, I have tremendous common sense. Like I could, it spills over. But there are people that are just brilliant. Americans, right? I mean, people who are born in the U.S., right?
Yeah.
Or other countries that you've got all those advantages. I look at my own immediate family. I say to my nephew, who's like a son, I'm like, if I only had your brain. He's a genius. He's brilliant. He is brilliant, but he's very relaxed and happy with very simple things. So the drive is not there, But
Yeah.
I always say if you could just combine the two. But yes, in order to succeed, and we all know this, leaders, that you have to have goals, vision, plans, a map. You have to have a roadmap in life. A little, But again, there are those that just go day by day, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong. It just depends on what you want your life to be.
Known for.
For sure.
Now, what brought me to Dubai is what I can say maybe brings a lot of people to Dubai is chasing that hunger, right? People that come here usually is because they're hungry for more. They're usually hungry for the finer things in life. They're usually hungry for more opportunity, or perhaps spreading their wings and being able to see what their potential has in store for them. And so that's why I really came to Dubai, is because wanted to be here to be that real estate developer that I always envisioned becoming and developing skyscrapers rather than just single family homes and townhouses and shopping centers that I did back in South Florida. Now that you've also visited Dubai, what would you say about the skyline? What would you say that you see different when you walk out your doors here versus Dubai, versus South Florida?
It's Dubai, again, going back to the go big or go home. Dubai, you're right, I believe is in competition with himself all day long. And I it's sort of crazy because I silently like that. People say, "Oh, there's your competitor." I don't have a competitor. I personally wake up every day, and I think that's another attraction from my side about Dubai is that I wake up every day just wanting to do a little bit better than whatever I did the day before.
Amazing.
So that is my personality, and the ruler, the hands, the many that have contributed to the skyline, to this architecture. It is absolutely stunning. You can see every building is so different. It is so unique. Everyone has their mark, and it's really been. It's stunning. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah.
Dubai is beautiful.
One thing I do when I land in South Florida, when I'm like living here, and then every time that I go back, I go very often, as you know. So when I land, one thing that I love about South Florida is the greenery. But also, one thing as I land, I see and I'm like, I miss when I'm landing in South Florida is the, like you said, architecture, the soaring skyscrapers, the buildings, and the density of how close you have. Now, you have downtown Miami, but that downtown Miami probably has like the smallest buildings probably in we call the tallest buildings in South Florida, but they're probably the smallest buildings in our downtown Dubai.
True.
Right?
We actually, true. Our room faces the Burj Khalifa. And first of all, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It is a blessing. It is a dream come true to actually have the opportunity to visit Dubai, to have that view every night.
Yeah.
We sit out on the balcony and just look up at it and go like, they really built something this tall.
Yeah.
Amazing. There's no comparison when you compare the two.
Definitely. But one thing I will say though, like my kids right now, even after living in 6 years, we still love traveling back to South Florida because we have this attachment to family and to where we basically lived for a long time before we came here. So it's that connection that we probably sometimes miss when we're here away from family. Aside from that, everything else is on sale in Dubai.
And let's talk a little bit about obviously the project that we have coming up, but also just real estate in general and what's going on, because I'm really fascinated. That was one part of obviously why I came out. I'm very disappointed. I will miss the official launch of Flow. But tell me a little bit more about this.
Definitely, Connie, thank you for bringing that up because that's something that I'm really passionate about. As you know, I've been talking to you about it even before you made it to Dubai. Main Realty in the local marketplace is known as that developer from South Florida that brings those Miami vibes attached to the Dubai bling. And our project that we sold out last year, we wanted to do something, a 2.0 of the same, but we wanted to do it where we can probably capture Miami's rhythm and Miami's lifestyle even better. So we went closer to the water this time. And so now we're launching our next project in Dubai Islands. As you said, the name of the project is Flow Residences. It's going to be launching in the next couple of weeks. We just received our preliminary approvals yesterday, and we're going to now hopefully be ready for the marketplace in the next few weeks to be able to get buyers to make it home. But the opportunity that we have over there that's going to be unique is being able to capture the best of Miami and putting it in your home, in an apartment, living and lifestyle in Dubai Islands. It's a low rise. It's a G+6. It has all the amenities that you'd want from a beach town type of property. And it's close in proximity to malls and to the water and to all types of facilities like golf courses and 5-star hotels and you name it.
I was there. I don't mean to interrupt you, but obviously I went to the site.
Yeah.
The mall is literally across the street.
Yeah.
Like you guys need another mall here, but okay.
Yeah, we can't have enough of those.
Oh my gosh. By the way, and not to get away from the project, the Dubai Mall, by the way, the largest mall in the world, it is packed 24/7. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and you think it's Christmas Eve or some holiday where everyone's got to go shopping for gifts. It's packed 7 days a week. But getting back to that, so the new mall, I don't know what it's going to be called. Do we know
Nakheel
yet?
is the master developer.
Okay.
I think
We
we
don't
don't
have a
call
name
it
yet.
the Dubai Islands Mall.
But
I'm
I
not
do
sure.
see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's already like
Definitely.
the
The infrastructure is already
is
standing.
already there.
Yeah.
And then the beach is
Minutes,
a 10-minute
5
walk.
minutes, 10 minutes walk, yeah. Depending on which beach, we're central to the marina side and then also the public beach side.
Yes, that was
so
impressive.
So we're really
So-
in the middle smack middle of the two of them. So whichever way you walk, you'll get one or the
That's
other.
gonna
Either
be
you go on your
very-
yacht or you can go on your stroll on the beach.
That's going to be a
minutes away.
special, like, again,
Yeah.
there's nothing that, it's all going to come up very quickly,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're proud of is to be able to focus our energy on building something that is of quality, right? We don't want our brand to be known for affordable, but we also don't want to be known as high-end luxurious. We want to be affordable luxury. So we don't want to price out of the investors' markets to be able to earn a healthy return on investment, but at the same time, we don't want to deliver a crappy project. So we're right there where we take both considerations of an investor to be able to deliver them something that's sustainable and that's something that is going to give you an attractive return on investment. And aside from that, one thing I'll say, like, you know, after practicing real estate in South Florida for 20 plus years, and now that I'm here, one thing that I never guarantee anybody returns or anything like that, but I'll say that every time I talk about returns, we always over deliver here because we are in a constant place of appreciation. Because as we see right now, the real estate market, it is providing the supply for a demand that is consistently ever growing, and it's going to continue to do that for the next 5 years because of the Sheikh's vision. So I think that is a unique place in its own as an investment and also as a place to thrive as a real estate investor, is because of that, because you don't find that in many parts of the world right now. It's like, imagine if you were able to buy New York when New York skyscrapers were in its infancy back in the 50s, right? That's where Dubai is today. That is where right now, when you get a chance to buy a trophy property, whether it be in its iconic buildings of the downtown area or it be on the coast like Dubai Island, it's you don't ask, you just do it.
No, I agree. I agree. There's a lot of there's still room for growth here, for sure. But you're right. You're going to look back in 10 years, 15 years, and wish that you had picked up a unit. I see that. I mean, it's obvious. And one of my concerns was, wow, there's just so much being built. There are cranes everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're telling me, and what I've learned from this last week that we've spent here, is that a lot of them sell out before
Launch.
That's crazy.
Correct. And that was the phenomenon that it took me 5 years to understand once I moved here. So we didn't just jump into development or real estate investments. I had to take a step back and make sure that I'm not just getting blinded by the bright lights, that I'm really understanding that this is a real market. And when rental rates were rising, and when the lines of these new launches weren't ending, I knew that it's not just a shiny object, that there's true merit behind this market. And so definitely, like, this is something that is not just a phenomenon. This is truly what Dubai is known for.
I don't remember us ever, and I do a lot of pre-construction. Obviously, here in Dubai, it's called
Off-plan.
Off-plan. I keep saying off-market all week.
No, off-plan.
Off-plan, which makes sense. You're purchasing it off the plan.
Yeah.
But I still say off-market.
No, I still call it, when I say pre-construction to my fellow experts of the real estate market in Dubai, they're like, what are you talking about? But still in my mind, subconsciously, I say pre-construction.
Yeah, and when I sat down with the first person representing the real estate here in Dubai, he kept off-market. I'm like, off-plan. I'm like, what is he talking about? And like halfway into the meeting, into this presentation, I got him, that must mean pre-construction. But I don't recall us ever having a building that's sold out at launch.
In South Florida, yeah.
I mean, I'm not aware of one.
When we launched our first project last year, I thought it's going to take us 6 months to sell. I was doubting ourselves. I was like, oh, we're probably in a bad market. I had just finished flooding. Dubai had just finished flooding. And I'm like, okay, the market's over and this and that. Within 2 days, I was wrong. I mean, we literally had our sales at launch. We sold 50% of our building, and we didn't sell anything before it. Like, we hadn't sold a single unit before our official launch. We sold 50% of our building at launch, and then the rest of it within 90 days. And that was unheard of.
That's crazy.
Unheard of in South Florida. Unheard of.
Unheard of. I mean, it's, you'll take a building and it'll take 3 years, 4 years to sell out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
True. The
So I'm
demand is
very
just crazy,
intrigued by this. And I don't like to bring anything home to my clients. My client database, most have been with me through my entire career.
Yeah.
And my word is gold. So I wanted to firsthand really dive into this, dissect, because what I don't want to do is obviously make a recommendation, present, something for them to add to their portfolio that is going to fail.
Obviously.
So this is, I rather not sell.
Yeah.
I rather not get a paycheck than ever steer someone in the wrong direction. Like that's really another reason I think for why, I'm consistently successful in a humble way. But is that I really truly want to be sure. So I'm very intrigued by this whole absorption, how quickly things get picked up.
Definitely. I mean, here you have
crazy.
buyers. The number one nationality of buyers, aside from local Emiratis, is Indian and Pakistani. And then you also have, on top of that, you have the Russian population, you have the European, UK, and North Americans coming to Dubai to be able to make it home. And people are not just putting their money here, but they're taking their family and relocating here as well. And if you pay attention to the wealth and the richest, the ultra high net worth individuals of the world, they're all flocking here. One of the things that are coming to Dubai that has never been here before is the casinos. Many people love it, and there's some that very conservatives that don't like it. But overall speaking, for the business of real estate, it's bringing a whole new audience to Dubai, and that itself is also another way where Dubai real estate will thrive. And then just last week, as we were landing, my wife told me, and I see it all over the streets now, that Disney Parks is also coming to Dubai.
Yes,
I'm sorry, to Abu Dhabi, which is an hour away from Dubai. So those things are all very, very bullish moves that the local government and the leaders and the business owners of Dubai are doing to be able to grow the economy and also the desire to live here.
And this actually brings us back to why now is a great time to also purchase here. And obviously it's not a sales pitch, it's a fact.
Yeah.
These are there are stats, there are facts that anytime you bring a new attraction, anytime, and at some point we're going to run out of, sand, right?
100%.
We already did.
In Dubai, we just create more islands.
At some point we're going to run out of lake. But I see that they have, they really have a vision here. And I would love to, and I think we're actually tonight going to the Museum of the Future, which I thought, I don't want to go, But now I'm very intrigued because it's really, and I think you told me that, it's really the vision,
Definitely.
the future of Dubai.
You have to go experience it, see it for yourself. And the build, I love architecture, and so just the architecture itself is an amazing feature for me. And then, of course, on top of that, the technology and then the vision that they share when you're there, it's going to be something you're going to enjoy for sure. I can say that. I mean,
Palm Jumeirah, like that to me, that was off the charts. Not too many people, obviously, I didn't even know the full history of it.
Yeah.
Who sits at home back in the US or back anywhere else in the world and read about, but it was fascinating. And I'd rather be at the mall most of the time. But I have to
But
tell you,
there's
that
a
was
part of Dubai for that
fascinating.
too. You
Oh,
can you can shop till you drop until midnight,
Please drop
along
your
with,
wallet. Please drop your wallet. Oh my gosh.
or you could go and learn about.
But it's beautiful. I mean, really. So I'm excited to see the vision, because they're brilliant. They're so ahead.
Thank you.
Dubai is so ahead of us in the U.S. Wow.
I agree, because here, as a go-getter, as a hungry entrepreneur, I just wanted more. And this is a place where more is not
I
the
see
word,
why.
it's unlimited. Unlimited is
Yeah,
the word
I
here.
see. I really see
Yeah.
why. So, yeah, I'm excited for the future here in Dubai.
Let me ask you a
Very
question
excited.
about, now, one thing I'll tell you, that when I first got here in 2019, I used to open the real estate portals here. There's many, just like back home. And I would look at these pictures that some of these real estate agents would take to be able to demonstrate and sell these listings. And they were like ridiculous. They were like toilets with things in it. They were bedrooms with beds not made. There were living rooms
You see
with
that here?
yes. And so I know, because I'm bringing this up, is because I know that you go above and beyond to market your listings and to be able to market real estate. Tell me about that. Tell me more about the expertise and the passion that you have in marketing real estate.
I do. I love marketing. I love marketing creativeness in general. And it's really crazy that you see these, multi-million dollar, and they couldn't afford to pay for professional photography. Or, look, I'm still that girl that if I have to get on my knees and make your bed before, you see everything when you're in real estate. And you're in, people's homes or their castles.
Mm-hmm.
And the definition of clean has a different meaning for everyone. So, yeah, there's a lot that we encounter behind the scenes. I think there should be a whole reality show on really what goes on. It's not glamorous. It's not what you see. Most people think, real estate agents are overpaid. Yeah, you're right. Some are. 75% of them shouldn't be in the business. But the ones that truly work, we're not overpaid. I assure you, we work for every cent and then some.
100%.
So we're up at night, we don't sleep, worrying about why the product is not moving, what can I do different? How am I going to tell my seller that, there's still no, there's so much. If you're truly someone who wants to be the very best and does not like to fail their client. And one of the things in attraction, I think why my eyes are set on this project is that I know you don't like to fail anyone. Your word is gold.
100%.
So it doesn't matter. We have mass builders that, people, the consumer tends to go to a name that that's familiar, right? A brand that's familiar. That's why when you become a real estate agent, you have to work 10 times harder when you don't have a resume, right? Same thing for a builder. Like you're new to
Correct.
this market. So, and it was one of the questions I asked you.
Correct.
What differentiates your project from these other projects, and why would I buy with you? I flat out
Yes.
asked you.
Yeah.
I don't sugarcoat because that is true. But again, back to being a listing agent, and it's that yes, I don't want to fail anyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to fail someone on a personal level, which I do daily, because you either are married to your business or you're married to your family and friends and personal life. So I'm very disappointed that I don't balancing is not it's a work in progress for
Yeah.
me. But for sure, that is one of the things that drew me to this project and why it has my attention, because I need to feel comfortable, and I know that you don't want to fail anyone, right? And I
Yeah.
don't want to fail my clients. So whatever it takes, if I have to pick up his dog poop, and it happens seriously, or I make their bed, and they're like, sheets may not be so whatever. I do whatever it takes because that photo is my name attached to that.
That's the level
Okay?
of detail she
So
puts into her marketing.
I
can
do.
speak firsthand
I
is
do.
because Connie, you've been my go-to person in the South Florida
And
marketplace.
that's how we met, is that
You've sold my luxury properties, and we've sold the down the street rental property and all types of things. And I'll tell you that she goes above and beyond. I remember that 2 years ago, you staged a vacant property. Some would just basically take a vacant home that's already a multi-million-dollar listing, and they would just put it in the MLS. They would just take pictures and basically try to gather whoever. And this was still a seller's market, right? So we didn't have to do a lot of things at that time. We could have just thrown a listing in the market,
But we
and perhaps
were
we did it.
competing with a builder.
Yeah. But you went above and beyond, and you staged the property, right? And this is a property that wasn't like multiple properties that we had to sell. She staged a property that was only one to sell, and she fully furnished it, and she did open houses every weekend till it sold. And that right there is a true mark of an expert.
We sold that in like a couple of weeks. I think.
Yes, and we made the market. We didn't just make money.
You're right.
We set the comp
We
of
did.
the area.
We outdid the builder.
Yes.
They were not happy.
Yes.
Because they were still trying to sell their last 10 homes.
Yeah.
And I came in. We were like the first resale in there.
Yeah.
We got top dollar. That is true.
Yes.
It's just understanding the demographic. Getting back to the topic, which was marketing and detail. I'm very detail oriented. I was shooting with your guys.
Yes.
And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I'm very detail oriented.
Yeah, you're giving him good training.
I feel bad because I don't want to be difficult.
No.
But,
We need that. We need our camera guys to have that
right?
detail.
So my clients benefit from that. And some think, I'm a pain because to them it's clean. To them everything's fine. No, it's not okay.
Yeah.
So yes, I do. I love marketing. I love attention to detail. I think, and anything you do is critical.
Yeah.
It's crucial for you to shine, for you to stand out. Nobody wants sloppiness, right?
One thing I also want to mention is that Connie's part of a national brand, Berkshire Hathaway, and she's top 1% of the nation. This doesn't happen by mistake. This doesn't happen by chance. This happens by discipline and by hard work.
True.
Tell me, what does your day look like?
True. It's interesting. I have been with the same company for 21 years since I've started real estate. I think that I chose to partner with them. I was very green to the industry. My background was television, journalism, entertainment. Being silly, I'm a jokester. I don't take life. A whole other person than my husband gets to see actually because he didn't know me in those days.
Yeah.
He sees this uptight, stressed out, trying to get the property sold, bossy. But so there's like two sides, two entirely different sides to me. And forgot our question.
So what does your day look like?
You're
in a
lucky
day?
that this hasn't happened sooner. No sleep. That's life.
Oh, I know.
And this is what happens when you shoot live. I love it. But that's what makes it, it's okay.
But we could, all this can be, we have our
daily, do you really want to
extraordinaire.
know? You don't want to know. The secrets to being a top producer. Now, some, maybe have mastered it a little bit different. Hard work. In my day, I'm not fully awake at 6 a.m., but I'm already working. Everyone else thinks she's still in bed. Oh, no. No one knows what's going on here. And as a leader, you are just, I think leaders are all like that.
Yeah.
We lay their other eyes closed, but I already have a whole roadmap for many things. My best time to come up with the very little time, my day is from the time I open my eyes until about 11, 12 midnight, every minute is accounted for. Every minute. And this is not going to lunches or dinners. This is, one, thank you, having a husband, a partner that is very self-sufficient. It allows me to be that much more committed to my clients.
For sure.
I don't have little kids at home, so because that's also something. I am fully engaged in real estate from, again, 6 a.m.
And then you wake up
till
to
midnight. I wake up thinking about it. I go to bed. I know this is bad, but it is. You're asking me. I have to keep it real, right?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna,
for sure.
I'm not going to make it pretty for the audience.
It's not for the faint, for sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So I already, my market as far as design and like how I want this ad to look. This magazine is due, and I do everything in a rush because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I wish I had more time to, but that's when I do my like 6 to 7 in my head. Then by the time my phone is in one hand while I'm doing everything else, and it doesn't end. So I've been bad. I'm going to get better. There hasn't been a lot of exercise in there. It's literally emails. What are we going? How are we going to market this? Do this? The hustle.
Yeah.
Between showings, meeting with new clients. Everyone wants Connie, and the longer you're in the business, I've got people calling me, clients. There's a dead duck down the street. Who do I call? You also become you're the go-to for everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that is also that hour that you're going to have with your
it's multitasking till
and
the last minute
I'm
of the day.
thankful. I'm so thankful, and I love to help however I can. And this is why I'm in the position that I am, because I don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to say no.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that stage where
Definitely.
I am. I'm proud of myself because it's been hard, 21 years. But I am getting to that stage where I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm slowly setting
Easing
boundaries
off on that. No,
a
and
little
that's
bit,
good
right?
because as business owners, as real estate experts, time is our only resource. Yeah. And sometimes we let it be taken advantage of, and some would obviously guard it with their life. And so we need to make sure that we are keeping that as an asset for not only for our clients, but also for our own personal lives, and also for being able to be sustainable for years to come. Yeah. So for our health to continuously enjoy our time with our loved ones and our clients.
I'm not a good example. I like to be a perfectionist at everything. I have not mastered balance. Mm-hmm. It was my goal for 2025 to master. You need that balance. So I'm working on it. I'm here in Dubai, aren't I?
Yeah, but I'll tell you though, Connie, one thing I'll tell you that you can rest assured is that there's no such thing as balance, right? When you're so passionate about something, I'll tell you that you go all in. There's two things that you cannot build together, which I learned the hard way, is you can't build a lifestyle and a business at the same time. It's really hard.
Thank you.
One always has to be at the price of the others usually.
I feel better.
But having people around you that support you and believe in you, and that that you know that they're coming, that your heart is in a good place to be able to serve everyone around you, is really what matters. Is because then all the hard work is worthwhile. Yeah. So I'll tell you that from experience. That's something that you definitely have to definitely have to take credit for. That is because there's nothing worth achieving that's going to come easy. It's gonna take some hard work and dedication. For sure.
I've lost friends because of so it's and getting on a serious note, which maybe will lead to like work ethic in the U.S. versus the work ethic in Dubai, right? But I've lost friends, because I fail them. I cannot show up for their kid's birthday. And one time they're forgiving. The second time, not so much. By the third time that you miss an event, if I were them, I would feel the same way. Yeah. And it's hard because you want to say to them, no, you're special. No, I genuinely, but I have those moments that it's always a tug of war, and I'm sure you have that too. When you can't be there for your family, always, right? Always. And after a few times, your immediate family will be a little more forgiving, but your friends, I get it, how they would interpret that, because I would too. And that's the one thing I think that also makes me very good at what I do, is I always put myself in the other person's shoes, right? So I'll tell you one thing, that one of the things that I saw and what attracted me to Dubai was just that our lives in South Florida, in U.S. as a whole, they're very busy, right?
if you don't do it, it won't get done type of mentality. And do it yourself is like the motto of life in Dubai. I'm sorry, in South Florida. But when you come to Dubai, one of the things that you find yourself doing less of is the busy work. Here, it's really easy to have domestic services provided to you, getting a nanny or getting a housekeeper or getting a driver. These are all services that are part of society here. It's not like looked upon as if you're only the wealthy or the ultra wealthy that you're going to have those services available in your home. This is something that is like common even in a one-bedroom apartment lifestyle. Yeah. And secondly, here, convenience of things done for you, right? It's not like you have to be ultra wealthy just to be able to get takeout food delivered to you on a breakfast, lunch, dinner type of basis. Here you can do that, and that's part of like maybe 70% of society. So those things make life a little bit more enjoyable. And talking about work, I still enjoy my first hires still working for me. Wow. And I've been here now 6 years, and I can safely say that my employees are happy to come to work every day because I give them an environment where they can grow and that they can basically get paid, compensated handsomely, and at the same time where my business can still be profitable. In the US, small businesses can't afford even an assistant these days because the cost of hiring and the cost of perhaps the margins of competitiveness and how much profit margins there are, that where the philosophies are usually where you do every position yourself is because that's usually the case. I walk into restaurants there and I know that the owner is the one that's cooking the food, taking the order, and the one that's going to ring up the bill at the end. And here you can see a difference where you'll have 10 people serving you when you walk into a restaurant is because they have the ability to grow a team and still be able to run the business.
It's because you don't have welfare in Dubai.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to get in trouble for that comment. I forgot we were.
You're right.
Too comfortable here. Oh my gosh,
No, you're right.
Whatever,
so here,
but here everyone
you don't have
works.
taxes.
Everyone works.
Yeah.
And
you know what the unemployment rate in Dubai is? 0. Because if you don't have a job, you're going to get deported.
Look, I'll give you the shirt off my back.
Yeah.
I stop for every homeless person in Florida. He gets so aggravated, but I'm for the underdog. So I can say this because I am for the underdog always. But at the end of the day, I think that us in the U.S., we have crippled our society, very much so. And this has been a real eye-opener for me. Yeah. One of the reasons I love Dubai so much, yes, I love the gold, the glitz, and all that, but from what we're speaking of, from the standpoint, everyone is so thankful to have a job, to come to work.
Yes.
Like they value their job. We don't have that in the U.S.
Agreed.
I mean, you have to beg them to come to work. They want crazy, like you said, that margin. They think that margin is for us as small entrepreneurs is sucked up by their demand of how much they want to get paid, and they don't deliver. I'll give you, just because I'm at that stage where I want to take a back seat, I will give you all that. But you have to deliver and be happy about it.
Agreed.
And it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It does not. We have big problems, and it's only going to continue to get worse unless something in the government, like something drastic, took place. That our society is broken. It is, and you don't realize it until you go to another country and you see from the waiter to, like you said, there is nobody. I haven't seen anyone homeless. Everyone works, and they're so thankful and appreciative, and it's such a pleasure to, no matter where you are. Yeah, it's a huge eye-opener.
Life here is designed by a place of keeping everything flowing in a way that it serves society, and then it also creates optimism, and it also creates positivity, which obviously helps everybody be able to seek the better improvement or better portion of themselves or improve their condition.
It's a domino effect, right? And you'll get, like, it's very common in yeah, oh, this is hostile, or this is whatever. Like, that's their word. It's not good for my mental health, or we're just overworked. I'm like, no, I know what over, we know, right?
Yeah.
When someone, and you and I spoke about this, when someone's not performing at their best, right? We know. We didn't get here to this
Level.
to
of
this
success,
level.
yeah.
I was trying to find, like, because I didn't want it to sound like, I taken wrong, but we don't get to this level in our life by not understanding, by not recognizing whether or not we're piling on too much. Or, of course, we recognize those things as a leader,
Yeah.
but it's really a huge difference. And why more and more companies in the U.S. are also doing a lot of looking to hire out
Agreed.
of the
Yes,
U.S. But
definitely.
so that's been another huge difference. And it's also interesting how yes, I understand the government, controls and regulates everything. But look, there's peace and order. Everyone's going to work. Everyone has a smile on their face. Everyone is thankful. I don't
Yeah.
see anyone really miserable, like the locals. And I'm talking like the driver. I'm talking our person that's like cleaning our room. Like, I like to connect and
Agreed.
with everyone, because we're all equal. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Money does not define. Doesn't make you a better person or different.
Just amplifies who you already are.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like that's so I like to. The purpose of this trip was to really understand Dubai. Before I can recommend it to anyone, right?
Yeah.
Understand real estate, lifestyle, just the pros and cons. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly
And if you spend another week, you'll even get to learn even more. And if you spend another month or even spend a lifetime, you're going to continue to see Dubai evolve and Dubai serve the masses. Is because Dubai's whole goal is to be able to become at 9 million by 2040. And we're slowly but gradually getting there. So
Where are we
our
at
real
now?
estate, we're at almost 4 million now, population-wise. So
so there is still room
yeah.
for those that are thinking of it from an investment standpoint. There's still that window of opportunity that, like, you don't see in New York anymore,
Yeah.
or you really, Miami, South Florida. There's little pockets, right? Because
Yeah.
again, we're the American Riviera, and I love Miami, but there's such. I didn't realize what a opportunity
Yeah.
there was here, and I'm so happy that you have really opened my eyes, and really you aided in booking it in 2025. It was on my bucket list. It started as a thing in my bucket list, but then I started to, the more you and I spent time together, and I started to really, okay, you know what? I need to see for myself if this is something I want to bring back
Yeah.
to my
And I'm glad you
the
did.
other side.
I'm glad you did. And I'm looking forward to hosting you to Dubai many, many more times. And hoping that you can also share this experience back home with friends and family, because I think everyone needs to, if not invest here, but at least come visit Dubai for yourself. Because I don't think this podcast, or if we do 10 others, will do it justice. So I think this is the beauty of Dubai, that you got to come and experience for yourself.
Okay, so before we end this podcast, I left one thing out that also amazed me. So you guys can, well, you don't do the podcast, right? You don't edit.
Yeah, we're gonna edit. Yeah,
Oh, you do a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, keep it. Reality is what makes it best. Exactly. I was just having but like, it doesn't matter. But one of the things also that blew my mind and continues to blow my mind, and it will blow my mind till the end, till I exit this planet, the safety in Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
And I would do some, I do some marketing for, I moved to Dubai thing, and it's the safest city in the world, or number two, or number
it's
one.
on the top 10
safest
for sure,
city,
yeah.
right. Okay, it's one thing to read it, it's another to experience it. And my husband comes from the law enforcement arena. So him and I know things that no one else would really, the average person would know
Yeah.
about safety and recognize certain things. Dubai, I have to share this because we arrive in Dubai and first night it's late. Okay. The next day, I don't know where we went or what we did. And people had told us, you don't have to worry about here. You can leave your things. We are leaving our passports. We're leaving our money, our wallets on a bench, walking away. We have met a woman from Switzerland yesterday, waiting for a helicopter ride. She said, oh, it's my first time I took it. She came for 2 weeks by herself. She owns, I forgot the name of her hotel. I would love to share it. Gosh, I'm so forgetful. In Switzerland for 7 years. Nice lady. She went into the water because she's here alone on vacation, went swimming for almost an hour, left her little wallet with her passport, her stuff on the sand. Him and I looked at each other. Again, we've experienced it, but to hear from this is every day. She left it on the sand and she went off for a swim.
Yeah.
Public beach, came back, and everything was
right there.
We went to tour a few places. They're like, take off your, I don't remember, where's that museum where it's interactive. So you've got to like strip down and people are just all piling their passports, their keys, all their belongings. And we're thinking, I mean, we're from Florida. We're like,
you don't leave this in a public place.
You don't leave your car unlocked, let alone, you don't put it in a basket and wait, we have lockers and you have combinations. And
Here they expected you to leave it in a public in a basket, huh?
Public, in a basket. Nobody will touch anything.
Yeah.
These workers come to work. They're honest. They're hardworking. They have a smile on their face. And someone left their earpods next to us when we were shooting on the marina yesterday.
Yeah.
And someone had left this was a story from one of your guys. From Naveen, I think it was. Naveen.
Okay.
Her boyfriend left his backpack at Starbucks with everything in it, came back a day later, and nobody touched it.
Yeah.
They simply put it like out of the rain. Nobody opened it. So to me and to everyone out there, it's not only like luxurious, hot, and beautiful, but the people are beautiful. The people are kind and so diverse.
Yes.
Even the food is a whole other level.
Definitely.
We cannot offer that. We cannot compete in Miami with the cuisine and safety.
Yeah.
Okay? If that's two things at the top of your list, Dubai, I think maybe it
stands in a
city.
class of its own,
Wow.
for sure, 100%.
Totally. So
I can agree to that is because I live it
Crazy.
here, and everything you said is so true is because this is just, I think we take it for granted once we live here, but when you come from, back from South Florida to here, you definitely recognize it the minute you land.
Oh my
The
gosh.
cleanliness, the
Crazy,
safety,
crazy.
the people, it's all very welcoming and it's made for comfortable and luxurious living. So
it's peaceful.
Yeah.
It's happy. It's wealthy. But I mean, there's room for all levels, of course.
100%.
But whatever your vibe is, it just has that. It's all packaged so well. But that safety is
that's bar none.
employment. The employee, the work ethic,
Yeah.
and the safety is reason enough
Yes.
for some people to want to I
Jump
think this
ship.
is great, and I was thinking for ourselves that would be great to invest in a unit here, Airbnb it, and then have a place to stay.
That's what
Because I
that's
really
what many
want to be
people do,
back more often.
Yeah.
And I think, let's say you take a lot of vacations, and I think anyone that likes to travel,
Yeah.
this has to be on their list to visit,
Yeah.
and then everything else is history.
Correct.
I think once you visit, it will speak for itself.
Correct.
You don't need a pitch.
No,
You know,
it
you're either
is
gonna-
it is a product that you don't have to sell. It just basically walks off the shelf
If
itself.
you set foot,
Yes.
here, for sure, I see that. So, in speaking of your Airbnb, before we run off, we have management companies. Do you know roughly what their rates are typically?
Good question. We are going to set up a management company
Oh, you
for
are?
our units that are owned by investors that want to rent it out short term. There's specific licenses that are required to be able to manage these properties as short-term rentals, and we'll build a specialized team to be able to manage those. And typically, those fees range anywhere from 5 to 10%, depending upon what type of services you want being provided for that. So those
For
are
Airbnb?
Yeah, for
yeah,
Airbnb.
See, in
yeah.
Florida, it's
Yeah.
like, if you're lucky, 15% to as high as 25%.
Yeah. Here it's like typically, because it's very competitive, it's around between 5 to 10%.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you so much, Connie, for all your time and expertise. I'm so glad that you enjoyed Dubai as much as I thought you would and more. And I would love to host you again to Dubai whenever you and your family are deciding to come back. And yes, Flow would love to have you represent its offering in South Florida marketplace and share it with your friends and family and your clients. And would love to have you even on probably a remote main mic episode in South Florida, perhaps. So
That's a good idea.
we'll do that.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Very good. We'll our next episode then will be strictly about Flow.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because I want to go over like square footage, which
Yeah.
like I've already gone through this whole thing and I was hoping we'd get to it today, but it's okay. We got a little more
Yeah,
acquainted
we'll get
with
to
each
that.
other, and with
We'll
the
definitely
audience.
do that event. Yeah.
But we'll definitely do that because I am very excited to share that project back in the U.S.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, thank
And
you
for
for
everyone
having
back
me.
home, thank you so much for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, or comment below. Take care.